2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2. We don't play, fellas. We don't play. I'm gonna play our introduction real quick. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Doc, and that's Mike right there. I'm on location in Birmingham, Alabama, visiting with family and friends. And I told Mike we're gonna be mobile tonight. Mike, how you doing, man?
Say it one more time, Doc.
Okay, I just said, hey, we're gonna be mobile tonight, and I got my boy Mike below me, and I got the coach Tony Davis to our right, your left, and he's excited, man. He is excited to be here with us tonight. Coach Tony Davis, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm lovely, man. How about yourself?
Man, look. If we were any better, I'll be either a Perez or a Davis.
Okay, here we go.
Well, listen, Coach. Happy holidays, man, and thank you for spending your Christmas Eve with us for a few moments. Introduce yourself to the people that may not know who you are.
Oh, Tony Davis, former University of Florida football, basketball player from Chipley, Florida. Mm-hmm. So the big city of Chipley, and that's who I am, man. Former athlete. Still got some athletic genes in me. Right. So just glad to be on the network tonight.
What are those genes? Levi's?
Say again now?
What are those jeans? Levi's?
Yes, sir. That's all right. Okay. I'm pulling that one on me.
He's a cut-up coach.
Yes,
He's a cut-up coach. He is a cut-up. Well, listen, when did you what position did you play football? What position did you play basketball? And what was part of your motivation growing up to really be the very best athlete that you could be?
All right. I played football, running back, in football, played on both sides of the ball, safety, linebacker, cornerback.
Wow.
Basketball, I played point guard. Lord has really been good to me. I was blessed to be a good athlete on the court, on the field. The Lord took care of my body. Thank God, no serious injuries.
Okay.
And it was a sport. Both sports I loved. I played all sports in high school, all except soccer.
Right.
I played pretty much everything, and just tried to carry what God has given me to the next level, and just really focused on playing it to the best of my ability.
Amen. So, real quickly, let everybody know, who is your brother? Because when we were talking at the church, you said, Dr. Sim, you remember Amp Lee, right? And I said, yes, I remember Amp Lee. And you were like, that's my brother. I'm like, shut the front door. Who's your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother, man. He's always been my ride or die. Got 13 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And, yeah, man, yeah. So nobody really wanted to start anything with us in the neighborhood.
For real, I bet they did.
Right.
So Coach, and I know you love coaching kids, and Mike and I were talking offline last night, and he loves kids too. What do you tell the kids that you mentor and coach? What really gave you and your brothers the edge when y'all played basketball and football? Did y'all work hard off the field? Did you work out in the gym? Were you a gym rat? What made you so special?
Well, the greatest gift that we both had was realizing early on, that God had gifted us a tremendous talent.
Amen.
Amen. I mean, really, he had gifted us a tremendous talent, and we took advantage of it. And we worked at it. We played every single day. I mean,
every day.
We played basketball every single day. We started playing football in the projects, sometimes in the road and sometimes beside the road in the grass.
Wow.
And playing in the hood or playing in the cut, it's a different type of football that's organized football. People, when my brother played when he played football,
right,
he was a real versatile running back. You couldn't hit him straight on. He could dodge you, he could make you miss. And that's what we had to do a lot in our neighborhood, because we had some big boys, man. And I think every neighborhood has some guys that could have been there, should have been there, would have been there. you know, and those are some of the guys that groomed us. Those are some of the guys that developed us. So we really focused in on our talent, and we learned how to play team ball. And we learned how to play team ball by playing with our brothers, our uncles, and different people from the neighborhood. So, you know, just gelling together with that. And then we took that on every level. I mean, in elementary school, middle school, high school. I mean, and we were our best competition. We were our better competitors because we challenged each other every single day. And the one thing that really set us apart from a lot of athletes is our ability to be able to think through the process before we're confronted with the process.
Understand.
Yeah. So one thing we've always tried to coach kids on is having enough tools on your tool belt to be able to fulfill the job at hand.
That's good.
A primary example of that is when you are playing basketball, going to the basket. If you're going up against Dikembe Mutombo or Shaquille O'Neal,
right?
Number one, you already know there's a possibility they're going to block your shot.
That's right.
So you got to have something on your tool belt to counter that. You won't have time to go to the locker room and pick it up. You got to have it on your tool belt. That's why they have a hammer, nail. You got to have something on your tool belt to counter that. And it's the same way in life, man. You got to have those different intangibles there with you. And it's got to be those intangibles from Genesis to Revelation.
That's good.
It's got to be there. You got to have that stuff on your tool belt because you never know when you're going to need it.
So we were asking this in the green room. Who was the better athlete? Did you beat him the most, Amp Lee, or did Amp beat you the most? Who was the better athlete?
Well, I'll be honest with you on that. That's, you know, we've often, both of us been asked that question.
Right.
I would honestly say that Amp was a better football player than me, and in basketball, I think I could cross him up with whatever I had. The problem both of us had, and it was this has been a challenge, and Charlie Ward probably can tell you the same thing.
To
that extent, when you're playing two sports, when you're dual sport athlete during football season, you're training and conditioning your body to gain weight, to be strong, to be tight, to be firm. During basketball season, you're asking your body to do a different thing. And I found myself during those two different seasons having to adjust. So you're actually putting your body through a lot because, you know, in football, you're taking 225 and you're trying to rep out on that.
Right.
And then in basketball, you want to go down and bench 180, 160.
Wow.
I remember in high school, I started looking like Vinny from the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
That joker had some rocks on his arms.
He showed me the microwave.
The microwave. Yeah, the microwave. I said, I look like Popeye shooting, man, because but you're trying to you know, during those two seasons, you're trying to, you know, keep your body up for the season that's at hand.
That's good. So with the kids today, the athletes today, and when you were playing, what do you think the biggest difference between athletes of then and athletes now? What would you say the biggest difference is?
And it's a couple of differences up there, man. And I probably would take up all your time on the show if I were to get to all of them. But just a few off the top of my head, man. Just the mental aspect of it, and they're not tough. Number one, these kids today are not tough. Yeah. There are so many different things
you can't
that occupy their time. They play these video games. They're doing everything other than fine tuning what God has gifted you. And I think, and then, you know, you can't coach these kids today. They want to talk back. It's just a different mindset. And one of the things, man, you know, like when you start school, you would hope that the parents have already taught them the basic ABCs.
Right.
And bring something to the table. Don't count on the Head Start teacher to teach your child, you know, the ABCs. Teach them at home. So there's some things we must do at home.
Right.
So at least the kid is well prepared when they walk through that door. In sports today, a lot of these kids, they're not as well prepared. Number one, in basketball, for example, their shot is always twisted, jacked up, tore from the floor because they didn't learn those basic fundamentals. Or now, you know,
they're more about a style more than an actual shot.
Say again now.
They follow a style. They want to be stylish with their shot instead of actually following fundamentals, and you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
And one thing that's really messing them up right now, I love Steph Curry to death.
But
right now, these kids, they see that and they want to be Steph Curry in elementary school, in the middle school. They don't understand. I wish they'll show a lot more videos of Steph Curry putting in the work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What they get to see are the results of putting in the work, but they need to see the work. In the preaching realm, we have to stay in the weight room.
That's right.
Oh Lord, I said something. You have to stay in the weight room, because if you don't stay in the weight room, you're gonna get weak. You're gonna be spiritually weak, and you can tell those preachers or those people or those disciples or those members that's been in the weight room. That's been in there on their grind, trying to get that word. It's the same way in athletics. You got to stay in the weight room, man. You gotta keep your body up. You got to keep your mind mentally strong. In sports, in basketball, we really look for football players in that in basketball, because we know come fourth quarter, those football players gonna be there.
That's good, Coach. That is good. So how long have you been coaching in Panama City?
I've been in Panama City. This is my seventh year. Seventh year in Panama City.
That's good, man.
Did you start coaching in Panama City, or did you have previous?
No, I actually started coaching, in 1999, and just want to be around athletics, want to be involved with kids. I finished up my degree in 2005.
Okay.
And the story behind that, I graduated high school in 1992, and it took a lot of perseverance to keep on pushing.
Right.
And that's the message, man. Keep on pushing, regardless of what. You got to keep on pushing. Mama had to push for 9. She had to push through for 9 months.
Right.
And then even then, when it was really time to come to release that, she had to keep on pushing. That's what we have to do, is keep on pushing. So my story is I had to keep pushing to get that piece of paper to graduate. So with that being said, in 2005, when I graduated, I just, I made up my decision. I would definitely want to be involved with sports. I want to do some working with kids, man. And if I had to do something else, it'll probably be fishing, other than working with kids.
He's a great fisherman. He's a great fisherman. He can catch some fish. His mom, dad, his relatives taught him how to fish, and now he outfish them.
Yes, sir.
Well, we know you're never going to go hungry, because that's one way to eat for sure.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. No doubt.
That's good. What before we ask you a couple more questions, what's some of your highlights playing at the University of Florida? What's one or two plays that stick out in your mind?
Well, I can tell you what, man. One that people used to always rag me about. Florida State had a linebacker by the name of Marvin Jones.
Okay.
And Florida State was beating us. They were beating us, and the quarterback that was in during the time I was in on the field that game was Terry Dean.
Okay.
And he changed the play. He changed the play.
Okay.
And he changed the play, running the power to the right side. And I knew Marvin Jones had that hole plugged. But I was going to try to make it miss.
Okay.
And I remember running after Terry switched the play. I remember running to that right side, and lo and behold, Marvin Jones. Now, Marvin Jones was a dangerous man.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was a dangerous man. And I thank God that he gave me some sliding ability, because right when I got to that hole, I slid. I'm not gonna tell nobody I went down. I'm just gonna say I slid.
He hit the square button. He hit the square button, Mike.
But it looked like he took my head off.
Wow.
Yeah. I played the quarterback role on that one.
When you're going at that speed, a lot of stuff looks different.
Wow. You made an executive decision, didn't you?
Yes, sir. That's how you live to see another day.
Wow. Dude, today, you're coaching now, you're pastoring now, you're helping in so many different ways. Do you miss the game? I used to love playing basketball. I used to think I was Michael Jordan. I had all of the outfits. I would go to the gym with the guys, and we had so much fun playing basketball. But can't play now. My
Yes,
knees
sir.
won't let me. That's why I play golf now. But do
Yes,
you
sir.
miss it when you watch basketball, when you watch football, and your favorite team is winning and they make those plays? Do you ever miss the gridiron coach?
Always, always, always. I stay engaged. I stay engaged. I can still shoot it. I can shoot it today just as good as I shot in high school.
Wow.
Probably not as fast, but I can still shoot. I mean, I can still shoot the basketball. I can always shoot the basketball. I don't have a kid on my campus that can beat me shooting the basketball.
Hey, they be trying, don't they, Coach?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But like I said, man, the mental aspect of it. For example, when we do little shooting drills in the gym, I might miss the first couple shots, but mentally, I know how to make that adjustment and keep on going. Yeah. Today, young folk, it's hard for them to make an adjustment. They just keep doing something the same way and never make the adjustment. Now, one of the things about Steph Curry and those NBA players, they know how to make that adjustment.
That's true.
And it doesn't take them 4, 5, 6, or 7 shots to make the adjustment, man. So the quicker you can make that adjustment, and that goes the same way in life.
That's right.
You got to be able to make that adjustment because
I'm writing that down. That's good. They're able to make those adjustments.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good. That's good. So what's next for you? 2022 is 7 days away. What's next on your agenda, Coach?
Man, you know what? The same. Well, not really the same. One of the same things as far as 2021, 2022. I'm continue to look to be a blessing to others. That's man. I tell the church all the time. I said, when you see a blessing, be a blessing.
That's good.
And that's the thing, man. Don't ask, well, somebody else could do it. You do it. You be the blessing. So in 2022, man, that's what I'm looking at because God really blessed me in 21 by with that mentality. And going into 2022, man, I'm going to take that mentality even stronger. I mean, trust me, when I say I'm looking for people to bless, I'm looking for people I can help, for young people that I can just give some type of input that just give them a push. Because today we come across all sorts of kids, man. Yeah. And everybody don't look like what they've been going through. So, you might be that next smile that they need. You might be that next hug that they need. So I'm going to try to be all of that on every attempt or every encounter that I have with people.
Oh, man, we just thank you so much for being here, my brother. Well, leave one more nugget. When you're talking to the kids, leave one more nugget with us. What do you, if you say anything to your kids, what's one thing you say to your kids to really help them go to that next level?
Well, one of the things I know, I went to college a year or two up in North Greenville College. Okay. And I took this motto, the same thought process that we have at our church. Christ makes the difference.
Right.
And in everything you do, allow Christ to make the difference. I mean, every single thing. If you allow Christ to make the difference in it, our problem is a lot of times we don't want God to put his hand on it. We want to keep our hands on it.
Right.
And sometimes we have to take our hands off so God can put his hand on. Because he can do better things with it in his hands than in ours. So if I can encourage them on anything, man, for whatever they're trying to do, whether you're trying to be a lawyer, doctor, a professional basketball player, allow God to put his hands on it.
That's good.
Because it's greater in God's hand than it is in ours.
That is so good. Well, how can people follow you, man? How can people keep up with Coach, pastor, preacher, mentor, accountability partner, Tony Davis? How can people follow you, man?
Man, at jmbcchipley.com. That's one way, man. That's the main way. That's the way I want them to follow me because I'm following Christ.
Amen. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, man. And just bigger blessings for you in the upcoming year, man. And we just thank you for spending a few minutes with us and tell Amp that we believe you can still beat him.
Oh, yeah. Man, I tell you what, when y'all get ready to get him on the show, just let me know. And I'll hook y'all up, and y'all go ahead and tell him.
Oh, I will. I'll send you a text.
We will pass it on. Send him on over.
He'll be glad to get on.
Well, listen, thanks, Coach, man. Be blessed, and I'll be in touch with you later, okay?
Okay, man. Bless
It was
you.
great meeting you. Take
Same
care.
here, brother. Bless you.
All right, thanks, Coach. Hey, we're
All
going to run to a quick break. We're going to play our intro again, and we'll be right back. Hey, Mike, there we go. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Let me get Mike back in here. There we go. There we go.
Bam.
There we go. Mike, how you doing, man? Perfect. There we go. How you doing, man?
Doing better now.
You doing better now. Did you cut? I know you didn't cut all our baby's hair off.
I actually had to. Well, I didn't have to. As a matter of fact, you may not be able to see it very well, but I got a good tear coming down my eye.
Okay.
Inside my eye. Yeah, I had to cut it off. He wanted to. He still had his baby hair.
Really?
The boy wanted to cut it off. He wants nobody else confusing him for anything other than what he is.
Oh, bless his little heart. That's all right. Man, you ready for Christmas?
Oh, am I ready, man? Are you ready for Christmas?
Oh man, what? Let's go over our agenda. Am I ready for Christmas? Let's go over this agenda real quick. Am I ready for Christmas? Yes. Dallas has made the playoff. We have clinched the playoff. We have clinched a playoff berth. We're gonna talk about Deshaun Watson trade. Will you do it already? Number 3, we're gonna talk about Gale Sayers, one of the greatest halfbacks of all time, but his career was cut short due to illness. 4, Tiger Woods won second place at the PNC Championship there in Florida. And we're going to throw a flag and talk a little bit more about RG3 trashing the Washington football team and then turn around and want to play for him. You know, so I'm excited Dallas has made the playoff. So should I be excited? And I want an objective point of view. Should I be excited about my Cowboys making the playoffs?
If you want my heart to speak on this, I say no.
Okay.
But I appreciate you. So I'm happy for you, not for them.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
But I think that they will make the playoffs, obviously, and they're going to make some noise because, like I told you, what they have going on that is what they have going on that is the best thing right now is it's not that their offense could get back to where to a good offense. It's more of their defense is getting healthy at the right time. Number 1. Number 2, they are playing the way they were supposed to play last year and this year.
That's true.
So that is strong when you add that the fact that they added Parsons.
Right.
They were linebacking help away, but adding Parsons and that speed from that guy, it's sick.
It's scary, sick. Isn't it? It's
scary. It is,
isn't
man. That guy was coming through there against us like it's impressive. They had a lot of negative feedback on him, right? Because of his background, and they thought he was a little too much, but he's proving them wrong. And
he sure is, man. We play y'all this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm not too.
You said that so smooth. You like,
We just played the Eagles, and we played them with almost half the team on the COVID list.
Yeah, that's very
and if the COVID has not shown people that they are serious, they showed this team in the NFL this past week that it's a serious business, and we had to play with a quarterback that was literally changing a diaper when he received the call and they're looking for him. He had like 25 missed calls. So we played with a guy like that. And I you know what? I didn't even think we should have been in the game though, as much as we were. I'm a realist. And, you know,
amen.
I think that playing you guys, it better not be like last time.
Amen.
I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
I think that you guys should be able to play good enough to be able to beat us by more. Do I want that to happen? No.
Right.
But under the circumstances where we have so much going on right now, where there's injuries or people out with players out with the COVIDs.
Right.
You guys you're not having that issue. So when you have to take advantage of a situation, this is the time to take advantage and show it.
Just as a football fan, you want Dallas to handle business. If you are much better than another team and much better than, we got that in air quotes, go ahead and handle business.
Let me throw a flag on it.
Throw a flag on it.
I don't want Dallas to handle their business. I just think that's what's going to happen. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
I just want to make sure that my Redskins nation out there knows that I don't want that. It's just that is what should happen because of the situation. And it's sad right now.
It's crazy, ain't it, man? I really appreciate you, man, and I'm kind of waiting with bated breath because I want to see who we will draw. I mean, and it's so scary right now. Let's say the Packers lose another game. It's after like 3 games left. If the Packers lose, I think Tampa has lost enough, but they beat us. But if Tampa loses again, if Cardinals lose again, we might, if we can beat the Cardinals, we might get the number 1 seed. But it's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Out of all those scenarios that you just mentioned, there was one thing that was the same in all of them.
What's that?
If.
So,
if all that happens, of course.
What'd you say? If. I like that. I like that.
So, that sometimes you have to handle what's in front of you and don't worry about anything else. Whatever happens on your surrounding, that is going to happen. But you can only control what's in front of you.
That's right.
And that's what if the Cowboys, that's what they have to worry about. That now, what they should be worried about is that the Packers, I know you don't like them.
I know.
But the Packers, they are hard to put down. And that's not just hard to put down. It's when they're down by, I think they were losing to the Bears.
Right.
And the Bears had them. They were handling them, and they came back on them and won. It wasn't just them. It was other opponents too. It's hard to say, as much as I don't like some of the things that Rodgers does.
Right.
You can't count him out.
You can't. And I mean, the Cardinals had him left to right, and for some reason, Kyler Murray threw an errant pass toward AJ Green, and he missed it. He went that way, and the DB went forward and caught the ball, and game over. And I'm like, you're right about that, man. I don't know what it is.
But it's little things like that, like we spoke with about Belichick. When you have in the Alabama game, I told you that one of the main things that was going to determine that Georgia-Alabama game was the fact who has the most prepared players on the team. That's the same thing. Kyler Murray is a great quarterback, and he's going to be better, in my opinion. But you can't beat experience. Aaron Rodgers, sometimes when it gets tight, you're either going to be strong-minded and get through it, or you might have a weak moment. And it just takes that 1 second to make that one mistake. And those that are the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings and the Aaron Rodgers and Breezes. I don't want to leave his name out.
Right.
And the Breezes of the world, they when you slip, they make sure that they take advantage of that slip.
That's right. Well, listen, good evening again, everybody. Hey, Rosemary. Rosemary said good evening, and we have an excellent sports program going on so far. So thank you, Rosemary. Who's Rosemary, Mike?
Rosemary is actually my sister.
Really? Oh, hey, sis. How you doing?
She's in the Dominican Republic.
Really? What, man? We international.
Internationally known.
And we usually rock the microphone. What you say? And Rosemary, if we would love to come and do a show from the Dominican Republic, that's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list to go to the DR.
Well, that's one bucket list that we can definitely make happen.
That's right. And by the way, Rosemary, Mike and I are gonna do a show live together the end of January. We've booked the flight and everything. I got to do my hotel reservation and the rental car. So I'm gonna go visit with my good friend, my best friend, Michael Perez, and we're gonna hang out. What's up, Felix? Felix Majaya says good evening and good show.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Felix. What's up, Felix? It's just good to be here. So we talked about, I'm so geeked right now because my Cowboys have made the playoff. They clinched the playoff berth because the 49ers lost to the Titans, and my Cowboys have clinched since 2018. My Cowboys have clinched the playoff. I am so excited. So y'all just look over me. Oh, Felix said go Redskins, Mike.
Yes, thank you. That's my mentor.
So what's up with Deshaun Watson? I would love for them to go ahead and make the trade. I don't know. I'm so tired of reading headlines that say, well, the Deshaun Watson trade may happen. Will you do it already? Pull the trigger already.
The problem with that, in my opinion, I want to hear it. In my professional opinion, I think that there's a lot of scared teams. It's a tough trigger to pull.
Oh, well, unpack that a little bit. What do you mean scared? Unpack that a little bit.
It's his situation is not one that you could just say, hey, I'm going to give away draft picks and who knows what else I have to give up to try to get him, to then suddenly say, oh, okay, now he's in, he's found guilty, or just in the backlash that comes with the putting him out on the field right now. The reason why he's not playing right now, there's a reason for it. And I don't want to speak for him, but it's tough to think that he would want to be out on the field right now.
That's true.
With all this, it's a lot of baggage. In every city that you go to, 100%, that is one of the things that they're going to attack is go at him with this situation. Yeah. And until that goes away, it's kind of hard for any team to say, I want to pull the trigger and I want to give away as much as the Texans want to give. If I was the Texans, I would think that I would want to give it even for a bag of nickels.
Right. I feel you.
Because this is a situation where they get away from that, right, and just keep going fresh. But they're not playing him. So what are you holding on to? Trade him or release him. And whoever decides to pick him up or take him on, it's now their choice is what happens next. But that's why it's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is, and I just feel I'm just feeling some kind of way about Deshaun because we know Deshaun personally because we Bama fans. I'm a Bama fan, and we beat them once. And they beat us once.
I don't know who we is unless you French. There no we.
He's a stand-up guy. If, in my opinion, and like you said, we don't know all the ins and outs of what's going on with him right now, but in my estimation, where he went wrong is that he was using people that were not inside the NFL's protocol. You know what I'm saying? He kind of went off script, if you will, and was using some people that were not sanctioned by the NFL and kind of got in some gray area. You know what I'm saying? And it's just real muddy water, like you're saying, and a lot of teams are really scared. They do not want to jeopardize their future if they did get Deshaun, as talented as he is. If they picked him up and then he goes to jail for 18 months due to all of this, they're left holding the bag, if you will.
But the funny part about that is that now if they do that, that's the problem. Now, whatever they gave up is gone.
It's gone. That's right.
It's gone. So if you gave up 2 first-round picks, you're out 2 first-round picks. If you gave up a talented player plus some picks, you're out all of that. Yeah. It's not like you could go to the NFL and say, hey, let's retract this. It's over. You lost it. You made the decision. Yeah. And that's why I think it's such a it's such a bad problem for other teams. I think that there are teams, and it's obvious, and that there are teams that would love to pull that trigger, but you can't. I don't know that I can find anyone that could tell me that they're going to want to jump into a lake full of crocodiles, and that's what this is right now.
And what we see, and you and I, we are very avid Madden players. What you and I see, those draft picks are very valuable, especially if you have a Michael Parson or Trevon Diggs or Tyreek Hill or Joe Burrows or Justin Fields, those high quality players. You got a first round draft pick, but you've given it away on the hopes that Deshaun Watson is going to be fine. You've lost that potential generational player.
And this draft is one that has good talent and in different positions. It's not just one or the other. There's good talent. I think that even deep into the third round, you're looking at some good players available. Are they going to pan out? We don't know. But there's good players that are playing good right now in the NCAA. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm waving my magic wand. I got that on Christmas Eve. I get a magic wand, and I'm gonna dub you the president of football operations for the Houston Texans. So if you inherit this issue, what would you do?
I would want to be traded to the Washington football team.
Oh. Okay, you speak with your heart now. You speak with your heart now. Yeah, Deshaun is a great football player.
If I had to put that hat on, I 100% would take the best available option.
Okay.
And that means that I believe that there has been trades that have been offered. They just wanted more.
Okay.
At this point, it's not about how much you get, but what you get.
Right.
And I would just take the best option, the best trade option available, and keep it moving. I think that the best trade was probably offered to them involved first round picks.
Right.
So just take it and move on.
Good. That's good.
And at the same time, you get some of that cap penalties off your books. So it gives you a little more flexibility for the free agency. It gives you a little more flexibility to re-sign some players, do whatever you need to do. Start fresh because he's such a big cap penalty for them.
That's right. That is really good, man. That is really good. Let's see what's next on our agenda. You just handled that, man. I'm gonna call the Houston Texans organization and tell them they got a good man over there in Pennsylvania that can help them out with their Deshaun Watson issue.
Well, if you got that kind of power, why don't you give the Redskins a little call and I can help them too? I'd much rather do that, dog. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Hey, we want to rewind the clock a little bit. I saw this on TikTok. Y'all check this video out.
Give me 18 inches of daylight. That's all I need.
Once in a generation or a lifetime, the great runner arrives in pro football. He is one of the select few who can fill stadiums Sunday after Sunday and whose number is burned into the memory of every fan.
He was a phenomenal player, man. That played for the Chicago Bears. Gail said, I was kind of going through down memory lane, looking at just old players of yesterday. It was some talented guys that played professional football.
Gail Sayers is like I told you. You just don't build them that way anymore.
Man.
You just don't. And I'm gonna tell you, we have a good core of NFL players. This here, it's not the same from the NBA.
Right.
It's not the same.
Right.
The NBA has gone down, in my opinion, as far as the level of play. This little, excuse me, I stepped on your toe type deal. It's different. The NFL is not like that. Where they hit you, and guys are a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a little bit this, a little bit that. So it's different, but the way that this man ran the ball with the kind of ferocity and the kind of agility that he had, you just don't build on that. There's running backs, there's good running backs, and then there's great running backs. And he was just above and beyond what you expected out of a running back.
He was different. He was different. Like you said, he was built different, man. And the equipment was not like it is today. The equipment was definitely older. The men, those were men back then, and he was different. And his career was cut short due to injury, but he was a phenomenal player, Mike.
Oh my God! If you could have a running back like him today, you wouldn't even be able to. Look right now, Doc, and tell me who would be one running back right now that you could say like, oh, he kind of reminds me of a Sayers or.
People now are really in love with like Derrick Henry. But he suffered a foot injury this season, and they ran him a lot. His tenure at Tennessee, they ran him a lot, so he was.
And he is, and he's great. And I would say he could be a Hall of Famer right now.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry. With his physicality and the way he runs. But when you want to put him next to Sayers, they're two different people. Sayers was a strong running back.
He was.
Yet he was able to move around like Henry can't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why they're different. They're both great, but Sayers is just different.
In that Eric Dickerson, but again, an older running back, not like the running backs today. The running backs today, like you said, they're just not built that way. You had Ezekiel Elliott. He came in. I think expectations were there for him. And if we could swerve a little bit, I can't put my finger on. And Saquon Barkley. I don't know what has happened to Zeke. I don't want to stay on the Cowboys, but
I'll tell you what's happened to him.
Talk to me, please. Talk to me. What do you think?
I don't know how I duped myself back into the Cowboy talk, but
Rosemary, and Phyllis, he can't help it.
But I'll tell you what's wrong with him. Look, I think I've mentioned this before that where some players, there's one player that does this great is Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson has built a nice career.
Yes, he has.
Not that he didn't ball out. So no one take me the wrong way. Right. But he had a career where he was playing year in, year out, no problem. But then once he started getting hurt, it was almost as if he decided to say, you know what?
That's good.
I got hurt again. You know what? I'm going to take a little bit longer to come back.
Yeah.
Maybe the year is going a little funny. Maybe I just won't come back. And it was like every season, it was Deshaun's hurt. But when he's on the field, he's a game changer. He can change. Even today, he can still take the top off of a safety or corner or whoever.
Right.
So, but he gets hurt a lot. So I think that Elliott is he's
what do you think?
He has a little bit of that going on.
You think so?
It's more like, oh, I'm hurt. I don't want to come back. And at the end of the year, I still made the same money that I was supposed to make whether I was on the field or not.
Yeah.
So let me not necessarily be on the field if I don't have to. But Yeah, I'm still getting paid. And you know what? When it's time for a contract, I'll say, "Oh, I'm good now. I've never felt better than this is the best I've felt in the last 4 years."
Yeah,
And next thing you know, somebody else signs him. Next thing you know, he starts playing. Maybe he plays a
I
little
get
bit,
it.
maybe he doesn't,
Yeah.
and then he's hurt again. But there's a lot of that going on in the NFL nowadays.
You know
Well,
what? I want to disagree with you, but I can't because those guys get all that guaranteed money, and some of them do. Some of the higher tier athletes get that guaranteed money, and the drive is just not there. And it's like with any of us, once we're at this level, but then we get to this level, and that hunger is not there. Coach Tony Davis talked about this a little bit. Him and his brother pushed each other, and they just was hungry. And he said, "You
mm,
just don't see that same type of hunger now. And I hope that the Cowboys finally making it to the playoffs, they'll get hungry and really strive because when you do get so much money, you want some hardware now.
well, what I don't understand is why are the Cowboys depending on Elliott so much?
I can't I ask that same question. I ask the same question.
I understand he's gotten paid,
Right.
and it's hard to say. I just gave you this much money. You better get your little butt on the field.
Understand.
But he's not. He's probably not even the best running back that they have on the team. Listen to me,
again.
Doc. I don't like you guys, but I'm telling you,
Right.
he is, in my opinion, he is not the best running back that you have right now.
Right.
Can he change and turn back to what he was expected to be?
That's a
Maybe.
good point. That's a good point.
Maybe. So I'm not saying that he can't go
Right.
back to
This
that.
is good,
But
man. This is
right
so
now,
good. Yeah.
right now, he is not the best running back that you guys have on the team.
I know.
Just like Washington right now, the best running back that I think that they have on the field is not playing as much as he gets playing time. And
Okay.
which is Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah.
After Gibson, they have McKissick.
Yeah.
After McKissick, they have Patterson.
That's exactly right.
But there's a guy that doesn't even get looked at enough.
Wow.
There's a Williams he comes in and he just makes plays when he's on the field.
Wow.
And I wish that he got more playing time, because if he got more playing time, he would show a little bit different. He doesn't mind going in there and getting some of those hard yards, and he has more agility, and
He got that
he
a little bit
do
more.
a little something. I think if he got more playing time, I think he would show out.
That's good.
And he doesn't.
What's next on our list, man? We could talk about the Cowboys and the Washington football team all night. What else is on the list? Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. And we're going to close out with throwing
Say
a
it one
flag
more
on
again.
RG3. But Tiger Woods came in second place. Him and his son, they played like a father-son tournament this past weekend, and they came in second behind John Daly and his son. But Tiger, that second day they were in red, or the third day they were in red, man, it was lights out. They were birdie, and they were a birdie machine on the third day of the tournament. I'm so proud for Tiger and little Charlie. I'm proud of Tiger for just playing again because, man, that accident he had last February, March, he even said he didn't think he would recover from that.
I think he had it in him where it was like, is this going to happen? And I like to say that not many people, I don't even think he thought that he was going to be coming back the way he is.
Amen.
It looked very dim for him, and I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he's worked himself to a point where he's actually enjoying it, and he's out there with his son, so that gives him an extra motivation. I'm glad because you can't have enough good players in golf.
I know.
He makes golf better.
He does. You don't judge me on this, but when he's playing, I watch. While he was gone from February till last weekend, I did not watch golf as intently as I normally would. I would look to see who was winning, who was going to be in the FedEx Championship, who would be in the Tour Championship at the end of the year, the top 30 players. I kind of perused it a little bit, but now that Tiger is back, Man, I told you my nickname is Tigger Woods.
That's a good one, though.
But and Charlie looks just like Tiger as
Yes,
far
he
as
does.
his swing, his
His every move.
mannerism. Yeah, they got allergies, the way they flick
Hmm.
their nose. It
It kind of lets you. It's amazing because it lets you see how obvious his son loves his dad. You know what I mean? He must worship his dad, the ground his dad walks on. He copies his dad's moves to a T.
Yeah, man,
and
I hope
that's amazing.
I that just touches my heart, man, and I really hope it's lasting, and I really hope that Charlie will make his mark. I hope Tiger can win at just 3 more championships, 3 more majors, so he can at least tie Jack Nicklaus, win 1 more, so you can be called the greatest golfer of all time.
He's in great shape, but it's a matter of whether his back can hold up for him.
I know.
That's
He's had so many injuries.
Back injuries are so you just can't predict them. You just never know when they're gonna be okay.
That's true. Well, listen, everybody, we got one more topic real quick. Mike, we kind of talking about a little bit of Dallas tonight and the Washington football team. We've thrown a flag on RG3 tonight because we don't know what's going on with RG3. And I watched a video you sent me, and we talked a little bit about it last week. He was such a phenomenal talent. He got on my nerves as a Cowboy fan. He got on my nerves, and his rookie year, he got on my nerves because he beat us. I know, didn't his rookie year he beat us twice, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you can remember.
I told you I'm a Cowboy fan, son. But man, what if you wrote an expose? Michael Perez, if you wrote an expose on RG3, what would you say?
I would say that he was his biggest problem, and he just couldn't get out of the way of his own feet.
As cliche as that is, I don't think that couldn't be more accurate.
It like I told you in personal conversations, there's what people know outside of the DMV area, which is the Washington metropolitan area.
Okay.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. This area knew a completely different story than what was being put out for
I got
everyone else
somebody
to
to corroborate that story. I got somebody that corroborates your story.
Yeah, so everyone would hear a certain thing, but the media, local media, got into a lot more, and it was just stuff that would come up. He was in love with being online, and if there was a negative something directed his way, he would reply.
Wow.
He just could not stop that situation from happening constantly, on and on and on. And not just that, but he became the stepchild that Dan Snyder always wanted. Even though he had Portis, which he babied Portis as well, and he did this for some certain players. But with having RG3 here, Dan Snyder said, "I finally have my quarterback," and he kind of like put all the other players aside and took RG3 to game, to bowling, to this, to that, and the other. And RG3, all that fame got to RG3, and I'm not sure if he already had it. He was a Heisman before he even got here. That's right. Sometimes you give too much fame to a young individual. I'll just say young individual.
Right.
That they either handle it well or they just don't know how to handle it. And I think that he just didn't know how to handle it. And when he got hurt, a lot of stories. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's believable. I'll just say that much.
Okay.
A lot of stories is that his mother and father, most likely his father, went to Daniel Snyder after he got hurt and said, "Hey, he has to stop running that offense, and we want him to be a more traditional back passer," and that killed him.
Wow.
That killed him. It wasn't necessarily the team. It was there was just too much in his way, and he couldn't get out of his own way either. Wow. So you put 2 and 2 together, they're going to equal 4, not 5.
It's just an unfortunate story, man. Because like I said, he was an exceptional talent, man. Well, listen, what you doing for Christmas, man? What you and the family doing for Christmas?
We're going to have a small gathering. This Omicron situation is getting out of hand, but we're going to try to be safe. And I pray that everyone else is being safe and stay safe for the holidays. I hope everyone enjoys. But we're going to have a small gathering. It's been a tough year, and we're going to try to enjoy it.
Amen.
So
Amen.
it's going to be on the 25th. We normally would do something for the 24th, but that's the Dominican Republic. We celebrate the 24th.
Okay.
But we're doing the 25th to accommodate a lot, and it's going to be great, I think.
Well, that's good. Well, listen again, everybody. We hope that you have a great Christmas. Enjoy your family. I spent some time with my mom today, and just relaxing and eating a little bit of good food. And we just want you to enjoy family, enjoy fun, watch some good football. And thank you for supporting our show. Doc and Mike on the mic. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. If you want to support the show, we got to cash out, $ Doc and Mike. We got some great things coming in the next year. Hopefully, when I get offline, Mike, I'm going to reach out and see if we can get Amp Lee on the show.
I think that he already put that on the table. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that.
Yeah, I know, right? So Tom was like, you ask him. I can get him right now. I
want to see where what he has to say about who was the better athlete between the two.
I do too, man. I do too. Well, listen, everybody, we hope you have a great night, and we hope Rosemary, Felix, everybody tune in tonight. Thank you again, Coach Tony Davis. Thank you for being here. And like I said, if you are there on our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification. If you're on our Facebook page, hit that like button, and we'll appreciate everybody. And Mike, one of my great presents is being your friend, man.
Man, stop it. Stop it. Well, you know how I feel, Doc. We work well together, man.
Yes, we do, my brother. Well, listen, you enjoy your family, my brother. Love you, man. And everybody, as the song would say, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Loving it.